Hello, everybody, and welcome to something that's really special. Um, we're going to start a new series. We don't know how many of these we're going to do, but we're going to start a new series. The three of us, the amazing Tarot by Izabela, and the awesome Meten of Plutonic Planes, and myself, Gary from Alternative Interactions, called the Celestial Trine. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using Meten's amazing knowledge of human design and astrology, although we're not going to go into the human design as such today, but that has helped Meten formulate certain dates that he'll explain in a second. We're going to look at certain key dates that we think, or Meten thinks, could have significant importance in the future. And then the amazing Izabela is going to look at them through her crystal ball and tarot cards. So, oh my God. So, first of all, Izabela, would you like to say hello to everybody?
Well, hello everybody, and a really warm welcome to this special edition we have for you. And we are all looking forward to see if we can find some very interesting things to tell you. And I'm sure you will not get disappointed. And um, just keep on looking, and we will continue the show now.
And Maten, would you like to introduce yourself and perhaps go into the first date if that's possible?
Perfect. So I'm a 10, McLean, Plutonic Planes. Some of you might have already been seeing my channel. And I'm going to start right away and present what I'm going to do. So give me a sec and I'll share the first image. I'm going to share 2 pages just to give you guys some background. And then I'll present the first chart. And then we'll start there with that first date of that chart. So I'm going to start really quickly with the meaning of the planets in mundane astrology. And so the sun is our leaders, our heroes, and our fathers. And usually when there's an eclipse, we will go over one eclipse today. It is a kind of eclipsing ending of a leader, a hero, or a father, or a country in a sense. And because it's when the sun is its life force is hidden from us and we do not receive the life force for a period of time. And the moon is our protectors, our gatherers, our mothers, our farmers. Mercury is the emissary of the sun. It's the communicator, and it rules our intellectuals, our fools, our merchants, our youth. Venus rules the financial system, as well as the cultural elites, the artists, and the currencies itself. Mars rules the military and war, warriors, defense, security, protects nations, sovereignty. Jupiter, which we'll discuss today as well, is your personal law. And it's also the judges, the courts, and the educators. Saturn is the reality checker. It rules the legislators, the executives, the punishers. Uranus is the revolutionary spirit of humanity, and it rules electricity, as well as innovations and revolutionaries and inventors, as well as the Air Force and the air defense. Neptune is the great dissolver. It rules dreamers, visionaries, religious leaders, healers, rescuers, as well as in mundane astrology, the Navy and the sea power. Pluto is the great destroyer, and it is in the grand seat, the grand throne, in a sense, because it has just got into Aquarius last year, just transited in, and its entry into Aquarius is affecting all of us in a really grand way. And so it's bringing down the old structures that are no longer authentic. And that's been going on this year in 2025. And in 2026, it'll be a 1 year, it'll be a new beginning, but Pluto will still be destroying what is not authentic. And then we have what I'm going to show an image of next so you guys can all see clearly. And that's the Aries Vortex. We can either call it the vanishing point or the emergence point, but it's both. Neptune being the vanishing point of it and Saturn being the emergence point. And The Venus star point is actually a part of this Aries vortex. No one talks about this, but it's at 2 degrees Aries for the next 6-7 years. And so that's a part of it as well. And it's a great point of like love and care for humanity. So it's very powerful for us. And then the magic triangle is a generic term. Well, it's also a little specific in astrology, but I'm using it here generically and generally just to encompass all the outer planets getting together in a triangle, in the trine. And I'll discuss that as I show the next image, which will be the Aries vortex, so you guys can all see clear. And so this will be an image of, just give me a sec, I had it here, so there it is. Okay. So this is just a very visual image you guys can see, hopefully clearly. And let me know if you can't.
That's
And
good.
it's, you see the Earth in the center, and then we have Saturn and Neptune, and it says they're 0 and 1 degrees Aries. And that'll be happening February 20th. There'll be a perfection, and that'll be the next chart I show. And you could see here that Pluto and Uranus are both around 0 degrees of Aquarius and Gemini, both air signs. And those air signs would exactly sextile that midpoint, which you can see is centered here in the Earth and is also going to be that 0 degree, 1 degree point of Aries. So we have 4 of the outer planets all working together. And it's so incredible. I mean, you can't imagine this. You can't even imagine this, but Leo is going to come, Jupiter is going to go into Leo on July 4th, and that is going to exactly trine, no, sorry, it'll exactly trine this area right here of the Aries vortex, and it'll sextile Pluto and Uranus, and that'll be something like it would be right here. I didn't write that in because this is a new image, so I'll have to work on that image, but it's really incredible. And then on April 26th, the third date we'll look at, there will be a, that's when Uranus will go perfectly into Gemini. So Uranus right here at 27 Taurus, it'll be at 0 Taurus. 0 Gemini, sorry. And so what's going on is just, it's like perfect geometry, you know, on the ecliptic with the planets and under the light of the life force, which is the sun. So unless you guys want to share anything, I'll go right into the first chart. So this is the chart for it. I'm going to enlarge it right now so we can all see it because it's kind of small. So I may even enlarge it a little more. This is the first chart. This is for February 20th. And I'm going to enlarge it a little more because it's so small. Okay, can you guys see that a little better?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just moving around our images so I can see it myself. So this is the chart for February 20th, 2026. It's a powerful build-up emotional cycle of energy that is moving from February 14th to the 20th. And it's Neptune and Saturn getting closer and closer together until they perfect on the 20th. And on the 17th, there's going to be an eclipse. And that will be a new moon eclipse, and that'll be in Aquarius, 28 degrees. And so this time period is what I've been sharing with everyone who's attempting to complete their visions. We all have a vision that we're creating and wanting to complete. And for all of us, this is going to meet a certain level of completion on February 20th. 2026. So it's very powerful. We've all been working on this as Neptune and Saturn have together been moving towards this pivotal point. And I'm going to stop right there and see what you guys, especially you, Izabela, what you'd like to look at this date and around this time and see what you see for next year, 2026.
Lovely.
Yep.
Do you want to stop sharing so everyone can get a good look at Izabela? And we'll superb. So Izabela, do your thing, please.
Yep. Now I'm gonna concentrate around the 20th of February 2026. What this could mean for us here on this planet. The first thing I saw miracles, unexpected phenomena. I saw fishes falling down raining from the sky. Fish. Well, it doesn't mean fish has to rain down from the sky, but phenomena, different kind of phenomena that we are not used to, that are unexplicable, scientifical. I see vortex on the sky, lights like go in a vortex. And when those lights come, not everywhere, but in some skies over some certain countries, they're gonna strange phenomena in the sky. I see the electronics, the cell phones ringing, behaving crazy while this kind of phenomena happens. This could be strange, but sudden miracles regarding health. Very ill people standing up from their deathbeds and walking away healthy. Yeah. Oh, I also see big arrests. Very big arrests of very well-known people. Well-known, not in a positive way, in a negative way. And I see, this is also symbolical, loaves of bread given to the people, to starving people. So there could be some kind of generosity act, global generosity act, like big attempt to stop poverty or stop famine globally. We are thought to believe that famine only exists in third world countries, but we forget that in the Western world, a lot of people are starving nowadays. So there are a lot of people that live very, 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 in very, very poor conditions. Yeah, I have been talking before in many of my videos that a lot of politicians, bad politicians, corrupt politicians, will step down. And it seems like it begins around that day, around that date. Because I see one stepping down, two stepping down, three. It's like it's gonna be chain effect, a ripple effect. When one drops, all the other. It's just like a domino, and then the bricks gonna fall. I'm gonna take some cards on this. Around the 20th of February 2026. What can we expect? So it seems like there are a lot of things going to happen on different levels. So it's not one thing. It's not just strange phenomena in the sky. It's like effects a little bit here, a little bit here. And people will be talking about miracles. What can we expect? And we take some. Oh, oh my God. That was so strange. I'm going to show you soon. Huh. Yeah. Let's start with the tarot cards. In the center, we have the Hierophant. We have the Lovers. And Six of Swords. Then we have above the Hierophant, Imprisonment. Here we have Blessings. Here we have a book. On the dice, I didn't know I have two of the same dice, but two of the same dice showed up. And this is a big sack of money. Big sack with a dollar sign on. And here is exactly the same big sack with a dollar sign on. And then we have two persons and the question marks between them. With other words, I saw in the crystal ball politicians stepping down. The bad guys. Creepy crawlies, as we say. Here we have imprisonment. So we're going to see arrests, real arrests, and Hierophant. And it will be of those that have been in power for a long time, that have created the systems and taking a lot of money out of the current systems. They will begin to face imprisonment. They have to go to make way for blessings for this planet, for love for this planet. And people will stand like this, like living question marks. What the beep sensor is going on? What is going on? Not only the blessings, the miracles, but finally we're going to see the bad guys go behind bar in handcuffs. And a new journey begins. It looks like a new journey starts for this world, this planet, around that date. Here we have a book, and books symbolize knowledge. It's like we're gonna begin to receive real knowledge, truth. And that will also, here we have another, like a big bag with the money. So something regarding the financial system, truth about the financial system, a new way of doing finances. As I saw, bread being giving out to poor people. It could be that finally what those evil ones have been taken from the people is beginning to be given back to the people. or it could be knowledge or information about those changes that are coming regarding finances. That's what I could see here. And it will be a blessing for everyone. And it will be quick changes because people won't be able to, they're going to stand like question marks. What is going on? What is going on here?
Wow. Something you said about the sky and we would see fish, you know, we may see real fish. It has happened in the past.
Yeah.
Okay, it has. There's been all sorts of stuff falling from the sky in the past, but phones going off and all strange things going on now. Much of our community is very interested in 3i Atlas and off-world assistance. Could you be so kind just to ask the cards if we are going to see off-world assistance around this period that would work in tandem with the astrology that's coming in at this point? Is it going to be like a pincer movement, a double whammy almost?
Okay. Is it gonna be like a double movement? We have a two of coins, someone balancing on a line and holding one coin in each hand. So it could be some kind of operation. You know, we have to balance those two forces to get the whole picture. And in the center, we have Page of Cups and Four of Wands. And I think a lot of things regarding children will come up around that date. That will make people totally change their mind point of view, like move from one place to another, but not physically in here. And it will be here on the oracle card. It said message of concern. Of course, it's gonna if you are told the truth for once, one time, it will be a message of concern because it's regarding children, and that will make people like totally move out of the current state in mind to another other state of mind. It's like a waking up a lot. But it has to be in a balanced way. It cannot be too shocking because, you know, it's going to be hard drive meltdown on many if it's too shocking.
Thank you. And for me, that kind of makes sense of the two faces with the question mark. Because there's going to be, as you said quite right, there's going to be paradigm shifts of, oh my God, I can't believe that. And they'll be looking at things going, questioning everything that they know about, you know. So yeah, amazing. 10, have you got anything to add to that or questions from that you'd like clarification on?
I love the initial buildup because it's just navigating the everyday, and I love that you got that card, Izabela, that the two balancing forces, that one card in response to Gary, because that there's something that with all these planets coming together, it's our perceptions are going to be everywhere at once. It's like a simultaneous perception of reality with all these configurations of planets together. And you said it. I think I don't have anything to say except you said it, because you described it in such a way that makes so much sense to me, because in order to get the whole picture, we will have to have a balanced frame. We will have to be in our bodies, but also see through our inner and outer eyes, and also be in breath with it, be in movement with the verse and not against it, or or resisting it, but just moving along with this energy force, because it is going to be the eclipse on the 17th is a power outage, or it's a power surge. And we will need a little time to recover, and we'll get a couple days before the perfection of the Aries vortex on February 20th. And so we have to move with that energy. Otherwise, we're going to not miss something like a FOMO thing, but miss the feeling and the movement of what's occurring, so that we're all going through it together, whatever it is. So that was really powerful to me. That really stood out. And yeah, that made sense. And the next step is to be there and to be
Yeah.
present through it.
Have
Super.
you have you got any further questions yourself, Isabella, about what you read and what you've heard? Because obviously, is there anything that you think that we've missed, or there might be a question that you've got from this?
Not around that date. No. For me, it's like a teaser. Someone is, tickling you, opening the eyes of the people to the possibility that there are so much bigger and greater things that I ever could expect.
Wow.
Because we need a teaser. We need something to shake us up a little bit to the possibility that what we have learned all our lives may not be true. There could be another version, or the real version of the truth. It's like peeling an orange before eating it.
Superb analogy.
Yeah.
Superb. So it's very clear that around the 14th to the 20th of February, we're going to see some major events happening. And a lot of the things that we've been hoping for potentially are going to happen on this date because of the energies that are coming in. And this is something that's very important, that we understand, that we can see the cards and we can always read, do pendulums and whatever, but we get estimated, we can, oh, it feels soon, it feels near or something. Here we actually have a date and a seeing of something that looks very, very tangible and fits in with so many previous card readings. So that's brilliant. Thank you, Isabella. Now, Maten, the floor is yours again. So would you like to give us another date for Isabella to look at, and a brief explanation for the people, please? The lovely community we have.
This will be for the date of April 26. And can you guys all see that clearly? You guys see that?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, just need the confirmation to be sure. So on April 26, Uranus will enter now permanently into Gemini. It's been going back and forth. It was there this summer, and now it's in Taurus, finishing up business, dealing with the earth, sudden shifts and changes in the earth. And at this time on April 26, it'll go into 0 degrees Gemini. And that's a simultaneous awareness. That's a very powerful type of precognition of the future. So what we're doing and being able to live in the present and the future and the past, it'll be like a new development of simultaneous awareness in humans if they can tap into it, if they can tap along with that frequency and resonate with it. And it's very quick, it's very fast. And when it occurs on April 26th, that'll be after a new moon. Actually, there's 2 new moons that month in Aries. So another layer of new beginnings will come in with that new moon in Aries. And then after this will happen. And this affects the Aries vortex I was showing, because it's like a precise aspect to the Aries vortex. So this will add we felt it before, because again, it briefly went in July of this year, of 2025. But now it will go in and it won't go back to Taurus again. So it'll begin to go through all the Gemini gates and frequencies. And Uranus rules revolutionaries, it rules electricity, it rules shock, sudden changes, sudden insights, It's the higher frequency of Mercury, and it has huge impact on our world, and specifically in Gemini on communication and technology and innovation. So I'll leave it there,
Um,
Izabela, for you to. Oh,
just
Gary,
before
go
you
ahead.
go off, pretend with your pointer, can you just show the audience the area that we're looking at? When you're speaking, it's just down the bottom there, isn't it? That's it. So
So as you
everybody can see that that's the area, the 0 point where so they can get an idea on the chart of what they're looking at.
And when you look at this, where Uranus comes into zero Gemini, Venus happens to be there in Gemini at 2 degrees. So this could be a financial disruptive moment with Venus right there being impacted. And this is where the sun will be in Taurus. A majority of the planets will still be around the Aries vortex, but will have moved. But it's an imprint point. So planets have been moving through Aries that whole month. So much energy is being brought forth from the moon and the sun from that vanishing point. So it's a whole new next frequency level of that beginning of, of our beginnings of humanity. Another like flip of the switch, something else being turned on, then something else being turned on, then something else. That's going to be 2026. It's just layers and layers being added on to this kind of magic triangle, this magical vanishing point in the sky and within us, because the planets without are also within, moving all of us. And yeah, that's what it is. There's Pluto there having moved forth, and yeah, there you go. Anything
Superb.
to add,
Thank you
Gary?
very much.
It's clear. Okay.
So Isabella, would you like to do your thing with the crystal ball, please?
For the 26th of April, 2026. Yep. Sometimes one cannot be sure if what I see are real events or symbolic events. The first thing I saw was if you have the ocean and suddenly from nowhere a big hole down to the ocean, to the bottom of the ocean is opening. It's like it's empty and you can look down. It could be literally that something will happen in the ocean, that some strange currents that will open up so one can or send a sound or something down there and see what's on the bottom of the sea. Because if there is 10 kilometers down, not many submarines can stand that kind of pressure from the water. Some strange phenomena regarding water. Yeah, it was phenomena regarding water, regarding Earth, things on our planet. And I also saw hidden stuff, could be the archives in the Vatican comes to the open. It could be uh, all those treasures that the Smithsonians are keeping away from people. Old knowledge, old truth that finally comes up. Just like we don't know what's on the bottom of the sea, the truth comes up from beneath up. And I also saw, could be Antarctica, things about Antarctica, truth about Antarctica that comes up. even, entrance to the center of the earth. Something that has been hidden for so long and guarded so hard from us people. Big truth, and that is revolutionary. Revolutionary insights to the reality.
Wow.
It's like they cannot keep it quiet anymore. They are not allowed to keep it quiet anymore. That was the main thing the crystal ball showed me. And it was very cool. You see the ocean and it goes like a vortex and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And suddenly there is a big black hole down to the bottom. And they're gonna, from helicopters, drop some cameras or things down there. Very, 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 very cool. And this will change everything upside down, just like Methane said. If this comes out. Let's see what the cards say. For April 26th of April 26, 2026. You know what I saw? I saw dead people walking. Meeting people we thought were dead would show themselves as not being dead.
Are we talking people like Michael Jackson and co?
For example, it doesn't mean it has to be him, but people we presume being dead are not dead. Could be Diana.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Okay, in the center we have the Death, 10 of Coins, and the Justice. I would say those three cards here, they say directly some big changes regarding finances. The death of something old, giving birth to abundance. And this abundance will be in justice, will be fair, balanced. Above the death, we have thoughts. Above the 10 of Coins, we have misfortune. And above the justice, we have a ring. Below the death, we have first prize cup. Rivals. And a kayak or canoe. No, badly. Yeah, people will really be thinking if the dead start walking. My God, is that really him? Is that really her? Yeah, and it will be like a big prize, first prize for many, to have those people back again, because they were looking up to them, not because they were famous, but because maybe they were good people, doing a lot of good. And the rivals to abundance, they will taste misfortune. So again, the justice system. And we have a ring above the justice system, meaning the justice system will not only exist in one country, it will be a ring of them everywhere. And they will, it's a kayak, like a river, it will be connected. So it's not for only one country, it will be global. Something big will happen regarding that. Imagine if we can finally see real justice system. Real justice, not corrupt justice. And see dead people walking, that would be cool.
I mean, I've got no further questions on that particularly. It's very interesting. We're talking about layers adding onto. So this, for me, feels like it's a build-up, or it's like a brick wall. We've built something with the foundations on the 27th or the 17th to the 20th of February. We've built something, and it feels to me like in April there's another layer, another structure going upon that. And as soon as Izabela spoke about the water and the 10 of coins came out, for me it was financial, because the water is part of our current sea. How the the financial system has been built on admiralty law and water. So we have a bank which is part of the river bank, and we have liquid assets and flow. And the fact that we got a kayak as well would mean that something is on the water sailing around. Really, really interesting. So, Maten, what are your thoughts on what came out?
I took some notes here, so I'm going to go through my notes. So initially, we were looking at this date as Uranus entering Gemini. So this is the symbolic meaning of Uranus is rebellion and revolutionaries and sudden changes, sudden shifts, sudden surprises of insight. And Izabela spoke about some secret coming out, and Saturn kind of coming in and making judgments, and certain things happening around a real justice instead of all the corruption is what we only know, it seems. And that sudden shock of secrets coming out is very in line and in harmony with what Uranus will be bringing, because Uranus, like, hitting Gemini is like a rumor being started. Like, oh, did you see that? And then everyone jumps in. It's like a gossip house. It's like it's spreading like wildfire, gossip over something that someone saw, and it's a shock. And that sounds right on with what the planets are moving and how they're doing on that date and around that time. And she also spoke about almost again this theme of the world turned upside down. There's supposed to be, people living, and then there's people that have died. And then for us to see, real or imagined, or, part of some holographic hoax, it doesn't matter. If we start to see like other humans who've existed at other times before us, that creates such a level of surreality that we have to check in. Where are we? What kind of realm are we in? Are we still here? And Uranus has that capacity of like shifting us into a new kind of, it's like it's a rug pull, right? Like Uranus is like an ontological vertigo. Suddenly you're in one reality and suddenly you're in another reality, and you don't know how you got there. It's like John Keats's poems about how shifts in consciousness happen where you're in one room and then all of a sudden you just wake up in another room. These are the shifts of consciousness that humanity is going to go through, and Uranus will be initiating this shift. And Izabela, you described it beautifully.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's it.
superb.
Yeah, that's all I have to add for that one.
Yeah, thank you very much. And again, that whirlpool in the sea opening up the seabed to allow us to see through into something new, which Meten just so eloquently expressed. It could be opening up into different things and different possibilities and different realms of knowledge as well, which is really fascinating.
And water's the passage through different realms. That's a Neptunian kind of realm and idea. So when we see when we're inundated with water, that's a new reality. That's new consciousness because there's so much information in every drop. And so when we immerse ourselves in the ocean or in riverbeds, that salt or all that affects our consciousness and cleans and clears us and purifies us. And we're reborn in that water. That's why we have all that religious terminology about what it means to be immersed in that reality. So yeah, I didn't touch on that, but that's powerful imagery.
Very powerful, very amazing. So I think we're very happy with April the 26th as well. So Meten, would you like to bring us on to our last date, please? Which I think is the 4th of July.
You guys can see it all clearly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is going to be, let me make sure it's the correct one. Oh, it's not the correct one. It's the old one. Okay, good. Here's the correct one. So this is the astrological chart for the 4th of July this year. And I did not pick that date out of its certain allegiance with a certain country. But however, it just so happens that on the 4th of July this year, and that does have relations though to Sirius. But anyway, on this date, Jupiter will go into Leo at 0 degrees. Currently, it's been in Cancer since July, late June or mid-June, and it's been going through all the degrees of Cancer. So we've been feeling the extremes and home, the expansion of home and what is our home and moving and all these like themes around Cancer and home and Jupiter moving, expanding all those possibilities and visions. And it will be moving into Leo on this date, 4th of July of next year. For a year, it will be there. And once Jupiter moves into Leo, it's going to exactly square Pluto. And you could see Pluto here on the other side. Pluto the destroyer and Jupiter the expander. So they will be in opposition. So Pluto rules power and Jupiter rules expansion. And so when they battle each other, as is the case with this aspect of death opposing expansion, it's a powerful kind of placement of energy where something can take that power and utilize it. And it's in Leo, it's in the beginning degrees of Leo, which is really interesting because that's Leo rules the heart and Leo rules fire. And so we have an expansion of that energy, and it also rules, it's the sun rules this sign. So it's the life, it's the stage of life that gives life force energy. And it's Jupiter expanding that in a positive way. And then all of a sudden you have Pluto, the destroyer, on the other side, destroying all the rays of the sun, dissolving them in a black sun, melting them away. Everything about that Jupiter and Leo that's not authentic. So we have a meeting here of what's reality and what's not, something crumbling away and something being born. That's my sense of it. I'll stop there and we can see what visions and imagery Izabela gets.
Superb. Izabela, do your thing.
Yeah. 6th of July. No, 4th of
4th of
July.
July.
4th of July 2026. Okay. 4th of July 2026. The first thing I saw here was the French Revolution, but in a modern version. So, some kind of revolution sweeping over the planet, touching every country, where the um, people will rise against their royalties, oppressors. No more. It's like a fire that starts burning in people's hearts, and nobody can put out that fire. It doesn't have to be bloody. It doesn't have to be, like war scenario. But enough is enough. No, no way we're gonna do that. A big no from the people. Okay. I see spacecrafts, smaller one, crossing the sky. Not bigger than a bus or a big SUV, that size, but on a very low height. So you can almost see the pilot or who one is driving it. Okay. The next thing I see is, for example, if you have the Nuremberg trial and all the guilty ones, but in this case, it's like the politicians are standing there. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I didn't mean that. Oh, please forgive me. Oh, forgive us. Oh, like shaking and scared and please, 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 please. I was just following orders. The classic one. Some people would like to forgive them because they are too good-hearted or living in a pink bubble. But those people up there that will beg for forgiveness, they are responsible of millions of deaths and suffering, and there is no forgiveness. Just like there were no forgiveness for the aristocrats in the French Revolution. Chop, 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 chop. Off with their heads. I don't say we're gonna cut the heads off. Maybe it will be in a different way, but yeah, if you take that symbolic, what happened. The difference is after the French Revolution, the same corrupt SHIT started over again. But this time it will not start over again. It will end for real. And there will not be a new Robespierre, a new corrupt whatever that will come afterwards, and people will worship him, and then he will be like as corrupt as all the others. No, it will be total new concept. That could happen. Okay. There will be problems with the sun on 4th of July. The sun would flicker or it will, go dark and go off, on, off, on, off, on, off, something like that. That is very strange. People will, how is that possible? The sun will not stop shining and shine again. It could be something to the atmosphere or something being put over the planet that will make that kind of effect, like the sun is turning off and turning on, turning off and turning on. Okay. For the 4th of July 2026. Oops. I have to put it down here so that it will not disturb too much the microphone. Okay. In the tarot cards, we have 7 of coins, 9 of swords, and the Empress. Then on the oracle cards, we have mature woman, misfortune again, and man. On the dice, we have a flock. What is this called? When you have 2 pieces of paper and it's like a metal, you stick them together.
Or like a magnet.
Not magnet, it's like a metal wire.
So,
Paperclip.
Paperclip, yeah. So you like clip them together.
Yeah, paperclip, yeah.
And then we have a castle on the water. We were talking about the French Revolution. And this card symbolizes the normal people, the hardworking people. 7 of coins. The one who are working hard to be able to live good from their labor, hard work. And they are flocking together. It's like the ordinary people will come together because they are mature now for it. They have opened their eyes. And what are they going to do? They're going to attack those who have brought misfortune on them. Those that have been talking bad, lying, deceiving. And they have them put together so they know who they are. And they have to clean those gossiping, those evil, misfortune bringing characters out. So we all can begin to prepare for the new earth with abundance. And there is a castle underwater, and there's a miracle because civilizations underwater will be able to show themselves. And a very important man will talk about this, or a very important man will have a finger in this by letting it come out to the open, or allowing it, or pressing the red button. Now it's time. Whoever that could be. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Sorry, babbling on.
No, that's to be fair, I'm quite blown away by we're seeing a build up, and then on the 4th of July, I'm getting proper goosebumps here. On the 4th of July, it really looks like we're going to see the people rising and taking back their own power fundamentally. And the sun flickering is quite interesting because we know in history it's done that previously. I don't know what the effect of that was, but it has been done and previously. And I just wonder if we're seeing these small craft flying around, and you talked about ships under the sea coming up, which could be the same. I'm just wondering if the sun flickering is going to put frequencies out there that's going to almost free people, take the bondage and the chains off them so that they can actually see with clear and open eyes on what's actually happening.
Is that a question?
Well, I think, yeah, I think that should be a question. Yeah. Are we
Yeah.
actually, are the ships and the sun, is it going to put a frequency out that's going to really help people heal almost? Because the acts of this revolutionary event, politicians showing themselves, the emperor's got no clothes at that point, and the people are finally seeing that they've got no clothes. So there has to be, is there going to be some kind of event or frequency that we're going to see come out that's going to help the masses see this,
Let's see. Frequency or event that will help masses to see this. Ay, all falling down. I'm gonna take one. Yeah, we have a skull and bone. Short illness. The devil. And throne. Position of authority. I would say more the death of the devil, those sitting on the thrones. And we, as when the sun flickers, we could feel it as short illness, like we are feeling a little bit strange, but not very ill. But that's the beginning of the death of the devil. Those in position of authority. Yeah, and it will make us jump. This is a little girl with a jumping in a rope. Yeah. Yeah.
Skipping.
Skip, yeah.
Yeah, skipping rope.
Yeah. So we will be able to move freely. Something will happen when we are when we have got rid of these.
Yeah. So there it is likely that there will be a frequency that affects them, not so much us, that creates this. Wow. So Maten, what are your thoughts on this final date that we're looking at?
It was pretty incredible that that Izabela got certain alchemical imagery and astrological imagery, in that she said the flickering of the sun and that it's going to be impacted by something in the sky affecting it. And the sun is our life force. So of course, if the sun is affected, we feel it in our bodies. And so the sickness part. But what's incredible is that, in a sense, as I was saying, it is an opposition. It's a battle. It's two sides between Pluto and Jupiter. And Jupiter is being ruled by the sun. So it's like the warrior of the sun, in this case, fighting Pluto and taking the arrows of Pluto and Pluto's destruction. And so it's like a black sun versus the sun. It's like a battle where the sun receives wounds, and that flickering is like a part of that, the effects of that battle. And it's happening on the 4th of July. Now, the United States, of course, has its date of birth on that day, and it wasn't by accident, obviously, because 4th of July is when the sun meets the mystical blue cobalt star Sirius in the sky, the mystical star Sirius. And so the sun is with Sirius on this day, and it's ruling Jupiter, who's battling the god of the underworld. So the impact and the culmination on this particular date reflects all the imagery of the sun and the sun being shadowed, objects in the sky as if a war is in the sky, a new laws being made by this battle, by the decision of this battle. It's like a war between the Titans, and the Olympians, in Greek mythology in a way. And miracles, of course, can occur on such a mystical date as the 4th of July, and with such an opposition between a luminary and one of the outer giants, one of the outer gods, Jupiter, and Pluto, the god of the underworld, the black sun. And there was something else you mentioned, Izabela, about a fire started in the hearts of man. Now that's alchemical symbolism that has to do with there's a phrase in one of my favorite black metal bands that uses alchemical imagery, and they talk about the process, the transmutation of the heart, and how the heart becomes flame and it burns with the truth of its essence. And this is apparent because the sun is going to be, during this time of the 4th of July, the sun will be in Cancer, but Jupiter will have entered Leo, which is fire, which is the flame. And Leo rules the heart as well. So that's right at the moment when the alcove or the heart in the alcove of our etheric bodies is lit. That's when that flame will be lit. So that was incredible, Izabela, that you got all that symbolism, and it corresponds with the astrology of that day. It's powerful. So, wow. I have nothing more to say. It's amazing.
Thank you.
That's crazy, isn't it? And again, Leo is the strength card in the tarot deck, isn't it, Izabela?
Yes,
And
it's the lion.
yeah,
It also symbolizes health, strength, recovery.
wow.
Here, have Leo.
Yeah. I think, with your reading, Izabela, and Maten's understanding of the planetary alignments and what's going on in the symbology, it's very, very, very clear. And something that Maten said about Sirius, I kind of chuckled. I've just been talking a little bit about, and I just watched recently. And as Maten knows, I never watch films, but I just recently rewatched The Truman Show. And one of the things that really started to wake Truman up was in the beginning of the film, a light. Yeah, yeah, a light comes down, and that light that nearly kills him and hits him, that makes him question everything almost. The spark that ignited the entire part of that film, that lighting, that light was called Sirius.
So it was like a star falling from the sky of the set of the film set, which was the show. It was certain it said labeled Sirius, like, and it was supposed to kill him, right? Or wake him up. Pluto. It'll kill you, or it'll wake you up and destroy everything that's inauthentic in your life for you to let go of. It's the death of you, of what's no longer you. And then the new you becomes born. So that was perfect symbolism in that film.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it fits in with everything that we've just been talking about, you know. I mean, wow.
Well, it's not so long time until February,
It's not.
April, and July.
It's already here. It's already here. It's like tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, I'm actually blown away by that. I'm really, I mean, you know, unbelievable. I mean, your knowledge, Maten, and your card reading, Isabella, together, that has been something special. That really
Yeah,
has, you
yeah.
know. And all I can do is thank you both, you know, for your knowledge and your reading and how uncannily accurate the astrology and the cards were and how they married together to create this beautiful synergy. So, you know,
Balance
amazing.
two
Yeah.
points. Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that together, Gary. You bring
Yeah,
it together
yeah.
brilliantly as well and expressing the whole narrative of it.
Thank you. So,
I want to thank you so much for allowing me to join you too in this show. It
Thank you.
was really, really great. And I'm so happy.
no,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much, everybody. And I think, you know, on that note, we really probably need to leave it there because I'm absolutely God's, you know, I'm blown away by this. I really am. And genuinely, my mind's going like, I need some time to work out really what I've just heard. And, you know, and I can't wait to rewatch that one again because, oh my, oh my. So with that from me, it's a goodbye. And from,
Bye bye. Hope to see you soon. Thank you for watching.
thank you very much, everybody. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to Matena Platonic Planes, to Tarot by Izabella, and to myself, Alternative Interactions. And till next time, when Maten potentially comes up with some more dates, which I think we'll probably have to do now after that one, we'll see you again very soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.